This podcast video footage is brought to you by P.B.M. P.B.M is a marketing agency that helps you develop your business content, trademarking, and branding. If you need help with web design, social media management, video production, and search engine optimization, P.B.M can take your business to the next level. Go to PremierImageLLC.com. Well. Today, our special guest from Oceanside, California, lyrical beast and music producer, Nomis. I am DJ Architect, along with my co-host, Vicky Vic, and we'd like to welcome you to another chapter of The Architect.
You are now listening to The Chapter of The Architect with DJ Architect.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, you're hanging out in the Chapter of the Architect, Chapter 14. Our special guest in the studio today with the actual video footage, Nomis. Adjacent to him, my co-host, Vicky Vic. Nomis, we'd like to thank you for your time this afternoon, my brother.
Hey, I'm glad to be here.
Oceanside, California.
Yes.
A lot of dope, and another talent from Oceanside, California, Nomis. And then soon here, we're going to try to get him locked in. Ross May from Oceanside, California will be here as well.
Yeah, that's fam.
Really?
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's dope.
That's crazy.
Look at that.
Yeah.
My homeboy. Do you know an individual by the name of Dustin Sherman?
No.
Okay, well, that's his homeboy. He was the one that actually made the connection happen. He's from Oceanside as well, living out here in Temecula. So big shout out to Dustin Sherman. Big shout out to Ross May, who will be with us sometime in the near future. But that's dope. How do you know of Ross May? Obviously, because of Oceanside area
Just
location.
the city, yeah. We just did a show together like less than a month ago.
Dope.
That's the homie. What's crazy is we going to connect it again. Off camera, we was just talking about how Vicky and I both went to Cal State San Marcos.
Yep.
So I met Ross originally through his wife, who went to Cal State with us. They weren't together
really?
back in the day, though. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So when we first started at Cal State, that first math class I was in, there was a girl named Lindsay in the class that I became friends with. I don't know if you guys ever met or not. Probably at some point. But she, a couple years into us being in school there, she started dating this dude who did music. He was in this group called Faded Chronicles.
Yeah. Dustin Sherman told me about him, how they play horns and brass and the whole nine.
This is
right?
back in the day. Yeah, this was like this is probably like 2004 or something like 2005, something like that. And I mean, they've been together ever since, basically. So
Oceanside's making a lot of noise, man.
Yeah.
With you, with Ross May, with Ruslan, with Desi Hollow that my little cousin just told me about. John Gitt. It's
man.
interesting. And
There's also another individual out there in the Camp Pendleton area, my homeboy L. Dot, making big noises out there as well, man. A lot of Oceanside's making some things happen, man.
yeah, and it's almost like it's about time because I feel like there has been so much talent there. But anyways.
Nomis.
seriously, though, hey, real quick though, since you said that, shout out to my big homies, Oceanside legends, Future Shot. You know what I'm saying? Caps, Sojourn, Soul Seekers, All Red, Trey Kell, Ajax. Those are my big homies. They put it on for North County long before me. So
Future Shock. I remember you performed with them, didn't you, a while back?
yeah.
And I went to that show, yeah.
Yeah. Blame One, Vista, you know what I'm saying? North County legends.
Yeah.
So,
Very dope. Nomis, one of the songs I was listening to, Chapters. Did you sing that hook?
I did.
That's
I-
you?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I made the connection pretty quick, and I was like, you know what? Before I, go out on the limb, let me ask him first. Listen, it's evident that you can sing as well as you can rap. I think so.
I don't. But thank you.
I think so. But I was going to ask you, what made you choose rapping over singing, man? Because obviously you can sing.
Yeah.
Well, one, I mean, the easy answer is I'm not passionate about singing, and I'm very passionate about rapping and hip hop. So that's kind of the quick answer.
The short answer.
I think singing, which is something that I'm doing more and more of, is kind of like my usage of spoken word. So the tracks that you guys have are all rap songs, but I also do spoken word poetry as well.
Nice.
And so Both of those things I use because they are good tools, right? I know like the hip hop stuff foundationally is where I came out of and what I will always do. But even within that, when I think of some of my favorite hip hop songs of all time, they got singing hooks. You know what I'm saying? Like some of my, if I didn't realize this till way late in life, but like a lot of my favorite rappers also sing. Like Mos Def is my favorite rapper of all time ever. Top, you know, hands down. Lauryn Hill.
Ooh, yeah, we just talking about it with Nancy Perel.
Yeah, Mos Def, Lauryn Hill, CeeLo from the Goody Mob.
Goody Mob.
Like, these are
Organized Noise right there.
These are the dudes that like really influenced me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm honestly surprised that I didn't start singing a lot sooner. I mean, I think I've done it a little bit on maybe every project, but it's not until now that I'm really starting to be like, I'm just gonna do this more.
Let me ask you something. Do you think you will ever sit down and attempt to write a song just singing?
That's an interesting question, because I have a song right now that I've been working on that is a singing song, and as I've been writing it, the idea was to write it for somebody else, was to write it for another singer,
right?
Because I'm a rapper, right? And so I've thought about just doing it myself and keeping it, but I don't know if I'm there yet. I don't know if it takes any person that does any kind of art and puts it out there. That is a very vulnerable state. Anytime, and so I got no problems. Like I have the 100% utmost confidence in any rapping that I do. Like I'm not afraid of any MC. Like I'm very confident in that.
Right.
Singing things something else. I'm taking baby steps. I'm taking baby steps. You know what I'm saying? It'll be
But you know what you're good at, and you know, not that you're not good at singing, but you know what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are. That's one thing that Carlos, man, he's one of the only cats that I knew from middle school, man, that wasn't afraid to say he was listening to Tribe, he was listening to Mos Def, he was listening to Kweli. Because back then, I mean, let's face it, the mainstream was the gangsta. That's what was in, and he was one of the few people. I listened to Tribe, I listened to Goody Bob. You're actually one of the first people that was like, "Oh, you got to listen, you know, to Black Star." You know, you actually got me into Gangstar with DJ Premier. So I can see how that would reflect in your you know music.
What? And it's funny, you remind me like your flow and the way you come across. You remind me of a Lupe Fiasco. You know, to me, you have that same chemistry.
Okay, I like Lupe. That's what's up, yeah.
Lupe to me is bananas, as well as like Kendrick Lamar. Very intelligent, articulate. The way you put your message out there and the way you write your lyrics. We're going to get deeper into that, but you were talking about how the mainstream back in the days was the gangsters, right? Gangster rap. And then you would have individuals that would come out like the Goody Mob and Outkast. And these people not necessarily respected or looked up on. They had to fight their way up the hill, let's be honest, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Atlanta wasn't really, like, universally accepted until Little John, the century. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Great point.
And the Dungeon Family was putting it on for years.
Yeah.
Have you seen that Netflix documentary?
The documentary?
The Art of Organized Noise?
Yeah.
I watched it the day it came out, bro.
Ooh, dog. Like, that reminded me of you. I had never known to that extent how it really played out with them, man. And just to see that it was like a family, like they were literally living in the basement. They called it the dungeon. Like,
yeah,
it was a beautiful thing.
You know, the reason why I respect individuals with they stuck to their guns, man. You know, originality, they stuck with what they thought was them. They didn't change for anybody's ideas or what people perceived them wanted them to be. And you got to respect them for that, man, because from them, other individuals came and they had the heart and the courage to say, hey, I'm going to come out with my own style and to hell with what people think.
Yeah.
if he can do it, I can do it. So I respect people like that.
Also, to clarify too, I was also listening to the gangster stuff. Like I
so was I.
stuff
Believe me, yeah. I think we all were. Yeah.
I wasn't rebelling against it. It was just kind of in addition to. You know what I'm saying? Like Pac is still like one of my favorite rappers of all time. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, Andre 3000 is like maybe the best rapper of all time to me. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah,
you know what? And even the courage to come out and some of the clothes he was wearing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it was his own style, man.
The things outside of his lyrics where he was able to take, he wanted to take chances.
Because back in those days, where people were in Timberland boots called Kanai, you know what I mean, and something like that. You're like, what's this guy on? Acid? What? You know, like people a lot of question. Like
it was wild,
but it was original, man. You got to salute that.
He was wearing shoulder pads and referee jerseys.
I forgot about
blonde hair. You know what I mean? Like blonde wigs. He had like wigs on and stuff. It was really wild,
man. Is this cat, and I apologize for not remembering his name, but him and I were close for maybe a good 2-3 years in the Marine Corps. We went to MOS school together, right? And he was a guy from maybe Georgia, around that area, and he had a gold tooth. And he used to rock around in the barracks. Every Monday morning, we'd have to field day, right? It means you'd have to clean the barracks. And he would walk around with these football shoulder pads, you know what I mean? And he's sitting there scrubbing things down, and then sure enough, he might have got that from Andre, you know what I mean? And he was a rapper, so he'd be sitting there scrubbing, whatever, with the shoulder pads on, rapping, looking at himself in the mirror.
Shoulder pad and no shirt. With a blonde wig.
I almost wanted to ask you, is that where you got that white streak from, that influence of Andre 3000 in your hair right
funny.
there,
no,
bro?
I don't. No.
Now that we're on the video podcast, I had to say something about it.
That's that X-Men influence, yo. That's that
check this out, man. Because a lot of people, like, I'll go get a haircut, man, and my barber will be like, "Oh man, this is so cool." And the first time that I ever walked in there, she goes, "Did you do this?" And I'm like, "No, man, no. Why would I take time to put a hot?" I'm a grown man. Not that, if guys do it, that's your business. But no, I got no time for that, man. I gotta go make
out
money.
Of my way to put a little
check
streak
this out, right? I mean, I guess it's cool, right? But no, Vic, to answer your question, no, I don't. But moving right along, Nomis, we're gonna go ahead, moving right to your first song. This song, ladies and gentlemen, you're hanging out in the chapter of the Architect. My homeboy Vicky Vic, our special guest Nomis. His first song is "Prevail."
Or we acknowledge that we have simply become duped by the narrow American dream of success, and we give up on greatness. We've been duped by the narrow American dream of prosperity, and we give up on integrity. We've been duped by the narrow American dream of security, and we give up on magnanimity.
We offer you an organic force through a digital means. The marriage of music and movement, we restore the divorce, of course. It would seem that if I claim to be a man of God, the music may be digital, but action is an analog. Hand to the plow, we do work. Up in my stamina now to make it till we know that what we do works. Yeah, and I know that what they do hurts. Material got them scraping the numbers of the serial material. Got them turning to killers that are serial material. Moves in the currency at any cost. And currency is currently a cause of a dying culture. So we aim to be a tourniquet, consider the World Cup any major tournament. The traffic is rampant and turbulent, turning these turntables, overturning justice within it. Now how's that for revolutions per minute?
You can chase your dreams, it's okay to succeed. When you face the need for more, don't forget about us. You can chase your dreams, it's okay to succeed. With integrity, proceed and we prevail.
Everybody take a vow, principles must prevail. Everybody take it now, principles must prevail. Everybody take a vow, everybody take it now. Everybody make it loud, principles must prevail.
And I've asked nothing but my fair share, and that shouldn't scare you. How dare you? A man is worth his wages. But if them wages wave flags of defeat to my fellows, then that man should make his legs legit right angles. Humility, priorities. See, people ain't objects, and objects don't have sovereignty or personhood. And there was a time I would blame some sort of outside force, as if that was the source of my selfishness. Stems from well-made products, such sorcery soars out of the sores of my soul's hole. How shall we escape? It pours out of the pores of my poor soul, and its piss poor attempts to create
and
glimpses
we've
of
all
heaven.
been conditioned the same way. If you're not first, you're last. There is no runner-up and no second place trophy. Get through that maze, get that cheese first by any means. Cause if you don't, yo, believe that someone else will. Somewhere along the line, we've abandoned the idea of loving our neighbors and adopted the idea of loving our neighbors' possessions, replacing decency for decadence, the rat race, and all for a shiny blue ribbon that has no eternal significance. Principles will prevail. Principles must prevail.
Yeah, and that I yell like the stature we've taken as a nation in relation to the time we've wasted. It's kinda like humility and service. Without love, it's worthless, and in lieu of all the attempts to fix us, we lift up an enclave that's awkwardly awesome always. And in all ways I've tried and passed, don't lead to heaven, bruh. I laid my eyes on trash that bleed forever, bruh. I crave the time I've dashed against the jacket rocks as if eternity was still mine to waste. And I know these is nosebleed seats, words over your head, but I believe in your promise I won't leave ya. Me and you can do better if we knew better. Together we's a crew in the storm we do weather. So fish through the superficial, giggle when they try and sell it. This stuff the official symbol of the true rebellion. The true rebellion. Let's yell it.
You can chase your dreams. It's okay, succeed. When you face the need for more, don't forget about us. You can chase your dreams. It's okay, succeed. With integrity, proceed and we prevail.
Everybody take a vow. Principles must prevail. Everybody take it now. Principles must prevail. Everybody take a vow. Everybody take it now. Everybody make it loud.